On a chilly autumn evening, a young couple, Sarah and David, moved into an old abandoned mansion called Blackwood House. The house was situated on the outskirts of a small, forgotten town. It had been empty for decades, but the couple, intrigued by the low price, thought it would make a perfect home to start their new life together. From the moment they entered the house, an eerie feeling settled in. The air was thick with dust, and the wooden floors creaked with every step. Old portraits of grim-faced people lined the walls, their eyes seeming to follow anyone who passed by. "Must have been the original owners," David said, chuckling nervously as they looked at the paintings. Sarah shrugged it off, but she couldn't shake the feeling that something wasn't quite right. That night, they unpacked their things and went to bed, exhausted from the move. But as soon as they turned off the lights, strange noises echoed through the halls. It started with the faint sound of footsteps upstairs. "Did you hear that?" Sarah whispered, her heart racing. David listened for a moment, but the sound had stopped. "It's just an old house settling," he reassured her. "Nothing to worry about." But Sarah wasn't convinced. The footsteps started again, this time closer, heavier. David finally got up to check it out. He grabbed a flashlight and carefully made his way up the creaky staircase. The hall was empty, no sign of anyone or anything. "See, nothing here," he called back to Sarah, but his voice sounded uncertain. They both tried to sleep again, but Sarah kept hearing soft whispers coming from the walls. It sounded like a conversation between two people, but the words were unintelligible. She pressed her ear against the wall, but the moment she did, the whispers stopped. Over the next few days, the strange occurrences increased. Objects moved on their own. Doors slammed shut without warning. Once, while David was showering, he swore he saw a shadowy figure in the bathroom mirror, just behind him. But when he turned, no one was there. One evening, they decided to explore the attic. Maybe they'd find something that could explain the unsettling happenings. As they climbed up, the temperature dropped significantly. Their breath fogged the air. The attic was filled with old furniture, covered in dusty sheets and piles of boxes. In one corner, they found a locked chest. Intrigued, David forced it open. Inside, they found an old diary, dated from the 1800s. It belonged to a woman named Evelyn Blackwood, the last known resident of the house. The entries were disturbing. Evelyn had written about hearing voices, seeing shadows, and feeling a presence watching her. The further they read, the more frantic her writing became. The last entry chilled them to the bone. "The house is alive. It whispers to me, calls for me. I can no longer fight it. Tonight, I will join the others." Suddenly they heard footsteps again, this time from directly below them, as if someone was standing at the bottom of the attic stairs. Sarah and David froze. Slowly the steps grew louder, ascending the stairs. A shadowy figure appeared in the doorway. The figure stepped into the dim light of the attic. It was Evelyn, her eyes hollow, her face twisted in anguish. She stared at them, her mouth moving as if trying to speak, but no sound came out. Sarah grabbed David's hand, and they bolted down the stairs. But as they did, the house began to shake violently. The walls groaned, and the air was filled with disembodied whispers. They ran to the front door, yanking at the handle, but it wouldn't budge. The whispers grew louder, almost deafening now, as shadows moved all around them. Desperate, David grabbed a nearby chair and smashed it through the window. They crawled through the broken glass and ran out into the night. When they reached the safety of the road, they turned back to look at the house. In one of the upper windows, They saw Evelyn standing there, staring at them, her pale face illuminated by the moonlight. The couple never returned to Blackwood House, and no one in the town dared to enter it again. It still stands to this day, waiting for its next visitors, its whispers calling out to anyone brave or foolish enough to listen.